Hi, and welcome to this instructional video on how to assemble and install the Lone Rider crash bar system on your BMW R1300GS and GS Adventure. The skid plate and lower crash bars can both be fitted on the R1300GS and GS Adventure, while the upper crash bars are only compatible with the standard GS. In the description below, we've marked the different chapters with timestamps so you can easily navigate back and forth between the different sections. So without any further ado, let's get started. Our crash bar system consists of independent modules that can be combined with BMW's OEM protection parts however you choose. That is why they each come in their own boxes. One skid plate, one set of lower crash bars, and one set of upper crash bars. Let's get the unboxing started and take a look at what's included. Let's start with the skid plate. In the skid plate box, you'll find the following: one skid plate with pre-installed front and rear brackets, one set of mid brackets, two threaded bumpers, two M8x60 screws with washers, two M8x50 screws with washers, two M8x25 screws with washers, and two M8x20 screws. Now let's unbox the lower crash bars. In this box, you'll find the following: one left-hand side lower crash bar, one right-hand side lower crash bar, 6 M8x50 screws, 6 M8 oversized washers, and 6 spacers. Let's finish the unboxing with the upper crash bars. Inside the box, you'll find the following: one right-hand side upper crash bar plus clamp, one left-hand side upper crash bars plus clamp, one connector bar, two anchor plates, 4 M8x25 screws, 4 M8x40 screws, 8 M8 washers, 4 M8 lock nuts, and 2 spacers including screws for the OEM auxiliary lights. Even though our skid plate is compatible with BMW's lower crash bars and our lower crash bars can be used with BMW's skid plate, we highly recommend choosing our full crash bar system set. Designed for maximum durability, our products work together seamlessly to provide the best protection for your BMW. If your bike has BMW protection parts installed, begin by removing both crash bars. Next, loosen the 6 screws beneath the OEM skid plate and lift it off. Remove the front support bracket and then the rear support bracket. On the right-hand side, use a strap to hold down the brake pedal for better access to the screw. Finally, remove the mid-support bracket. You're now ready to install the Lone Rider crash bar system. The fitment of the Lone Rider skid plate starts with the two rubber bumpers. Apply Loctite 243 or equivalent thread locker, then install them where the mid-support bracket sat. These bumpers will protect your engine from below by absorbing forces passed through the skid plate. Here you can see the installation hardware supplied with the lower crash bars and the skid plate. If you're installing the lower crash bars only, use the 6 50mm screws. Since we're fitting the Lone Rider skid plate at the same time, we'll replace some of those screws with the longer ones provided with the skid plate. First, grab a 50mm screw, a washer and a spacer and apply thread locker. Insert the screw into the top front anchor point of the lower crash bar, mount the spacer, and carefully position the crash bar in place. Install the screw, but don't tighten it. Next, take a 60mm screw and mount a washer to it. Remember that the mid-support brackets are site-specific, so you need to install each one on its designated side. To determine which bracket goes where, look for the flat side. This side must point toward the rear wheel of the motorcycle. In this example, we're holding the left-hand side mid-bracket. Fit the screw, apply thread locker and grab a spacer. The spacer must be placed between the engine block and the lower crash bar, while the mid-bracket is placed on the outside of the lower crash bar. Tighten the screw by hand without a wrench. Remember to repeat all steps on the other side before proceeding. Take a 25mm screw, mount a washer and apply thread locker. Take a 20mm countersunk head screw and apply thread locker to it. Now it's time to fit the skid plate. Align it with the anchor points and install the countersunk head screw to the mid bracket on both sides. Install the 25mm screw at the rear and tighten loosely. Take a 50mm screw, mount a washer, apply some thread locker and grab a spacer. For this step, we recommend using mid-size Cobra pliers for easier positioning of the spacer. Place the spacer between the engine block and the crash bar. Insert the screw and tighten it by hand without a wrench. Once all screws are in place, you can start tightening all of them. We recommend also checking and tightening the pre-mounted screws of the skid plate if necessary. To install the upper crash bars on the R1300GS, we must first remove parts of the bodywork. Start by removing the metal side panels. Undo the two plastic push rivets underneath the front fender and remove it. If you have the OEM auxiliary lights installed, disconnect and remove them. As the light pods sit too high and close to our upper crash bars, we need to install spacers to lower their position. Remove the two screws from the body and put them aside. insert the included screws, attach the spacer, and apply thread locker to both. Reinstall the kit to the light pod with the flat side of the spacer facing the rear. Reinstall the light pod using the original screw and nut. And reconnect the wire. Repeat the process on the other side. Before we can install the anchor plates, we must first remove these 3 screws. Install the anchor plates as shown here. Repeat the process on the other side. Now take the connector bar and push it into place between the 2 anchor plates. Reinstall the front fender along with the side panels. Take 2 25mm screws, mount a washer on each, and apply thread locker. Position the upper crash bar so its lower edge rests on the lower crash bar, then align its upper mounting holes with the anchor plate. Install the screws but do not tighten them yet. Take 2 40mm screws, mount a washer on each, grab a clamp and 2 lock nuts. Position the clamp and install the screws as shown here. Tighten them a bit, but not fully. Adjust the upper part of the crash bar so it aligns properly with the anchor plate, then tighten both screws, but not fully. Pull the lower part of the crash bar outwards and tighten the screws fully. Finish the installation by fully tightening the upper screws and then repeat the process on the other side. With your Lone Rider crash bar system installed, perform a final check to ensure all screws and nuts are properly tightened. After your first ride and periodically thereafter, especially after off-road riding, re-inspect all nuts and bolts. If you still have questions, feel free to contact us using the link in the description below. Thanks for watching and ride safe!